Hi, I am Gaston. Coming up next on Global Perspectives, a heart-to-heart conversation about culture and education. Welcome to Global Perspectives. I am your host, Gaston Gomez, ELL Family and Community Outreach Program Manager. We'll be having a heart-to-heart conversation about culture and education with my friend Chen Chen from China. Welcome, Chen.
Hi, hello, Gaston.
So tell me about your birthplace. Where were you born?
I was born in Tianjin. It is a metropolis in northern coast of China. It has 15 million population and it is one of 4 direct controlled cities of China.
Wow, so it is a big city. So weather, what is the weather like in your hometown?
Actually, it's pretty similar as Maryland.
Is it?
Yeah.
So you have 4 seasons.
Yes, we have 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. Yes.
That sounds
yeah.
good.
So I like Maryland. Yeah, I'm getting used to this weather.
Great. Tell me about growing up. Did you go to private schools, public schools?
I go to public schools. Actually, we only have public schools when I grew up. From the past 2 decades, some private school has gradually developed, but mostly still the public school is the majority, yes.
And do you go to schools with boys as well or just girls?
Boy and girls go to school together.
Combined.
Yes, combined. And we all stay in the same classroom, we play and doing everything together.
Great. And do you have children in our schools in and around the county?
Yeah, I have 2 children.
You do?
Yeah.
And what grades are they?
My daughter's in 5th grade and my son's in 2nd grade.
Do you have any education here in the United States, or all of your education is from China? It was in China.
I do take some class in college in here, but mostly I finished my education in China.
Your basic education.
Yes.
In China. So since you grew up in China and then you see your kids, your own kids growing up here in Anne Arundel County in our wonderful schools, do you see some difference? I'm sure you see differences, right, when it comes to education?
Yes, there's a lot.
Tell me about some highlights that you think they're like, oh wow, we didn't do this, or we used to do this growing up in our school. So tell me about it.
There's a lot of it because Chinese and American education system has huge difference. Yes, yeah. So probably when I grew up, I spent most of my time in study. Yeah, in here I feel I saw my daughter and my son. They can finish their homework and they have their time to reading and do something they like. But when I grew up, my parents and the teacher always tell me, you need to study hard. You need to get good grade. That's your priority.
So it was more study, no fun or no sports?
Yeah, we have
sports.
Yeah, but comparing with the time of study, it's not as much as here.
Gotcha. So do you have recess?
Yeah, we have recess.
And lunch provided at school, or lunch was at home?
Lunch at home. We have 2 hours lunch break.
So
2 hours from 12 o'clock to 2 p.m.
And then go back to school?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
interesting.
It's good for the little kids because after the lunch they can take a nap, and then they go to school.
That is awesome.
But when I was like a middle school or high school student, we have a lot of homework. So after the lunch, I have plenty of time to finish my homework, and then I have more time to relax and have a rest.
And then go back to school. And so dismissal in the afternoon, what time was
dismissal, we usually have 4 classes in the morning and 2 left in the afternoon. Yes. Normally the dismissal would be 3:30 or 4 o'clock.
Interesting. Yeah, very, very good to hear and get to know more about you and your country. So was there an expectation from your parents to be involved in your education?
Oh yeah, parents definitely involved in children's education. Traditionally, Chinese people have always attached great importance to education. They really value the education. So parents are willing to support their children. But the difference is in China, teachers don't need parents to volunteer in the classroom. So parents and the teacher will meet 2 times per year at the parents-teacher conference. Otherwise, the parents spend most of their time to help their children at home.
Okay.
Yeah, like they could supervise their children to finish the homework on time, or prepare or preview their lessons, and taking them to some art or sport clubs, or go to the tutoring center.
So parents are always involved in
Always
your
involved.
education.
They spend tons of time to help their children. Yeah.
That's good, great. And so why do you move to the United States?
Because my husband, he accepted an offer from the University of Connecticut. He wants to finish his higher education in here. So I have no choice. I have to go. I come with him at 2001.
What year? 2001 you said?
2001,
2001.
yes.
So do you like it?
Yeah, I love it.
Why Anne Arundel County?
Why I moved to Anne Arundel County? Because my husband, he find a job, and there has a long time distance every day. So we need to find a new house. Anne Arundel County, it is a nice place, but the most important, it has very school district.
We
So
have a
that
good-
attract us more to here.
Great, good, good. And before you moved to the United States, what was it that you heard about our country that you never heard before? Like, you heard things about United States, right?
Yeah.
In China. And do you ever visit the United States as a child or not?
No.
So what have you heard about the United States before you moved?
Before I came here, in my impression, this country would be really model. It should be looks like New York City. Everywhere might have skyscrapers. People will dress very stylish, very fast speed lifestyles. That's
Fast
all.
pace.
Yes,
Fast
fast pace.
pace. And what was your initial reaction when you moved here? What was a wow or cultural shock? Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, it's very interesting. I found out except the big city, I cannot find even one skyscraper in the county or small town. People usually they dress casual. I saw t-shirt and jeans everywhere. The community, the neighborhood is really quiet. Yeah, I barely see people work on the sideway. In China, the Chinese population is 4 times than the U.S. population. So I need to take time to adjust to this newer environment.
So it's more relaxed.
Yeah, more
and
relaxed.
it's more quiet in your neighborhoods.
Yes. Yeah.
Great. And going back to your childhood education, you were telling me that you went to school with boys, and combined. But what was the size of the classroom?
Oh, the size of the classroom is much bigger than here.
Much bigger.
Yes, we usually have 4. I remember when I was in elementary school, we usually have 45 students in the classroom. When I turned to the secondary school, we have more than 50 students in each class.
So average about 50
50, yes.
in each classroom, and only one teacher?
Only one teacher.
No teacher assistants?
No, only one teacher.
So
Yeah.
the size is pretty much
Double.
bigger than our classroom sizes here.
Yes, yeah. So the teacher, they usually don't have much time to let the student express their ideas. 50 students in each class, and each lesson we only have 45 minutes. So the teacher, in order to finish all their teaching assignment, they need to just keep talking and let the students learn all they need to be. Yeah.
I love hearing about your background and your education and your culture. Is awesome. Many things I've never heard or knew about. So something that you can remember as a child that you used to do in the classroom that you see your kids not doing it here, or they do it in a different way. For example, tell me some highlights or differences, positive differences about it.
Positive difference. Well, I was in elementary school in China. The most elementary students, they need to join a group. That name is Young Pioneer.
Young Pioneer.
Young Pioneer, yeah. Yeah, it's a kind of honor program, honor group. Yeah.
Mandatory?
It's not a mandatory, but highly recommend. Yeah.
Recommend. Unexpected too, I guess, from parents, like you have to go there because it's
Yes,
awesome.
yeah, that has a side. If you join this young pioneer group, you will be given a red scarf.
A red scarf.
Yeah, red scarf. That's a sign like you are one of the members.
So not all students have that red scarf. Not all of them,
most
except
of
for
them.
those who
Yes,
joined
yes,
the Young
yes.
Pioneer
Yeah.
group. And so what do they teach you when you are part of the Young Pioneer group?
We have some after school. We have some activities. Sometimes it's kind of like I won't say it's similar as the Girl or Boy Scout, but we have similar activities. Yeah, that's a good.
So they teach you independence and self-sufficient and
Yeah, how to be a good student.
how to be a good
Yes.
student. That's good. And any way of that saluting or
Oh yeah, the saluting. When the student, when a member of this Young Pioneer group, they meet the teachers or they meet the principals, they need to raise their I need to raise their right hand like this. They show their respect. Yeah.
wow, so this is the salute.
Yeah,
and do
this
they
is-
stand up in the classroom when the teacher walks in? Or
Yeah, of course.
So
and
they
the
stand
teacher
up
will
and then
always-
salute.
Oh no, we don't salute. We just when we work on in the school, if we see some teacher or see some adult or school staff, we just show this to them to show our respect. But when the teacher steps into the classroom, all students need to stand up and bow to the teacher and say good morning or good afternoon, Mr. Blah blah. Yeah.
And that's
After we need to we can sit down after get the teacher's permission. If the teacher don't say that, you need to stand up
so you have to stay standing. You stay
until
standing
teacher
until the teacher says
sit down.
go ahead and sit down.
Yes.
Interesting. There's definitely a cultural shock, right? When it comes to other countries, that you see that they don't. It's not part of the curriculum or part of the routine in the classroom to stand up or salute the teacher
Yes,
or
yeah.
any other
In
adult.
Here, I was surprised the kids will sit on the carpet. They are really, I won't say relaxed, but it's different.
It's different,
Yes.
right. But it's structured, but in a different way.
Yeah,
showing respect to
in
the
my
teacher.
country, students need to sit very still, and they cannot move a lot during when teacher is teaching. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, thanks for sharing that. One big cultural difference between China and the United States. Can you tell me one?
The biggest culture difference, I think, is the people in these two countries pick a different way to solve problems. American people is very direct. They tend to explain their feeling directly and no hesitate to ask anybody who can help him to solve the problem. On the other hand, based on our Chinese culture, we are influenced by the Chinese culture. Chinese people would like to express their opinions or their concerns implicitly, like not very directly. And they are used to ask help from the people they know really well. But if the problem cannot be solved, they are still really hesitate to ask help from the people that they are not really familiar. It's a kind of culture different because in our philosophy, frequently ask help from other people, especially for the people that they are not really hang out with, is a kind of interruption. We'll feel really upset. It's inappropriate in our mind. Okay. Yeah, there's not right or wrong for this behavior difference, but I feel sometimes it will cause some misleading because Chinese people usually they seem quiet and barely ask help. In fact, the problem we encountered is as many as other immigration groups, just because we all behavior habit to make all our struggles invisible. So I feel that's the most difference.
So that's the difference between
yeah, this
your
culture different to make this kind of misleading.
Yeah, and so tell me about So when you see, when you go out to the mall or to restaurants, tell me something that you see differently from your country. Like if you go to the mall, or to the malls or shopping in China,
of course.
and then you go shopping here. Tell me something that is, that is different.
Go shopping.
Yeah, like outdoors or shopping or eating at a restaurant. Or if you go out, I would like for you to share with me and our viewers about.
Okay, the restaurant. When I came here, I was surprised by the most Americans restaurant. They are dark and quiet. I just feel why they don't turn on the light, because in my country, in the restaurant they always really bright and very loud. People will really relax. They can laughing and speaking very loud because in their mind that's a kind of relaxed place. Yeah, in the shopping center, the most different is there's less people in the mall. When I was in China, in the mall, I saw lots of people. Do you know the Times Square, the New York City?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like that.
In every shopping mall?
Yes.
Wow, so it's crowded.
It's
always
crowded, yes.
Every mall
Yeah.
you go to. Right?
Yeah.
Interesting. I think the reason why in some restaurants in the United States are like, a little darker, they dim the lights.
Yeah, they like the private space.
More private,
yes,
right?
they are more private.
And you guys are more like open space and brightness and
Yes.
and sharing.
Sharing, exactly, yeah.
Very interesting. And tell me about what you do. What do you do in Anne Arundel County?
I am the temporary Chinese bilingual facilitator of AACPS. My job aims to bridge the language barriers and establish a smooth communication channel between school and immigration families.
Great.
Yeah, I also work on promote the family engagement and the community outreach. I hope I can facilitate the school and the family, especially the parents, work together to help the English language learning student get more academic success in Anne Arundel County Public School.
Great. That's great. It's a good job to have. And we know that you do a good job with us as well.
Thank you.
And tell me about programs that you have assisted or help promote to continue the engagement of the Chinese community with our schools.
Okay.
So I know there are a couple of events that we do every year. Tell me about those programs.
Okay. Yeah, we had the Full Moon Festival last year. Yeah, it's really successful, and we also have the Lunar New Year celebration, this year. Yeah, the Lunar New Year celebration.
And we'll continue to do it from now on,
we've
because
got to
we know that it was a successful event, so we want to continue to engage our Chinese community and to feel welcome in our schools and also in the community.
Yeah, I'm glad more and more Chinese parents would like to participate with that event. Yeah, I think that's really good. The community would like to involve more to the school, so that's a good sign.
Let me ask you about your culture versus our culture. I mean, in the United States culture, volunteering in our schools. So you said earlier, parents are not really expected to volunteer, or they are expected to volunteer.
In China, it's different because the teacher usually they don't need the parents volunteer because as I mentioned before, every class have 45 minutes, and only one teacher need to finish all the assignment within this time period.
Right.
Yeah, so I was surprised when my kids go to school. I was surprised that in here the parents has a lot of opportunities to involve. They can have lunch with their children. They can volunteer in the classroom, and they can meet teacher anytime when they have concerns or they want to reflect their opinions. Right. But in China, it's different. Parents, they don't usually contact teacher because in my mind, we feel teacher, they are really busy. We cannot bother him or bring too much extra work to him. So parents usually wait until the teacher find issues and contact them. It doesn't mean we don't want to get involved just because we have the culture difference.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you are from China and living here in Anne Arundel County, it will be a good idea to help the Chinese community to understand the volunteering here is important, and it's okay if you want to come and visit the schools or ask questions anytime during the
Yes.
school year
Yes.
and participate in school events as well as a volunteer or chaperone, right?
Yes, yeah, because I feel the family influence is very important. We saw what our parents did when we are young. So, but when we move here, we need to change. We need to change our mind and get used to for this new environment.
Adjust.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Your kids, I'm sure they love school. And I'm sure
Definitely.
they are
Yes,
dedicated.
they love their teacher. Yes.
Good. So tell me about what do they do for fun after school? Are they part of any after school activities, any sports that you never witnessed or played in your country?
My daughter, she play piano, and my son play piano as well, and he also plays soccer. My daughter, I think she love volleyball. Yeah.
Volleyball.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And do you play any of those two sports, soccer or volleyball?
Unfortunately, I don't know how to play that, so that's why I want them just to participate as many sport or whatever they want to do. I like them to do it. I mean, encourage them to do what they like to do.
That's great.
Yeah,
great.
because when I was young, I don't have this chance.
You didn't have the chance to do
No.
that. What about playing piano growing up? You didn't play any musical instruments?
Piano is very expensive.
So it is expensive to learn piano lessons in China.
Piano is very expensive, and because when I was a student, as I mentioned, I'm really like all students need to focus on their study.
So more in
Not
academics, but
everyone-
not in
Yeah, not everyone
arts, not
has-
in arts and sports.
Yes, we don't have time, because every student need to pass when they turn to the high school, they need to pass the college entrance exam. That's really difficult. So we need to spend a whole, I won't say 12 years, the whole school years to prepare.
Awesome. So I want to assume the graduation rate in China is very high. Like most students graduate all the way.
It's not very high.
It's not?
actually. No. Because so now the Chinese economic has been greatly developed, but 10 or 20 years ago, we don't have much college. So that's why the competition is very intense.
So you compete until you are qualified to get into college, so, or graduate from high school to get into college.
Yeah.
So not everybody has the opportunity to graduate or compete.
Compete, yeah. Yeah, because we only have some college. We don't have a lot of college or university. So if you want to go to the college, you need to pass the college entrance examination, which is really difficult, really challenging. So
Now, speaking about college, is it free or private? If you decide to go to college after graduating from high school.
similar, it's not free. College is
Okay.
not free.
So basic education is free. In public education is free.
Public
But when it comes to higher education, it's not. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us today, and it was my honor to get to know more about you.
thank you
And
for
we
having
appreciate what you're doing in Aranda County.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, and I'll see you again.
The new kindergarten, first, and second grade curriculums are designed to engage students in a variety of learning opportunities that involve collaboration, conversation, and creativity. One learning block that is devoted to movement and healthy minds and bodies supports a cooperative classroom and a feeling of connectedness. In Move, 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 Healthy Minds and Bodies, activities support oral language development and prepare the brain for new information. The use of repetition and movement offers an opportunity to review content across various learning blocks. The positive effects of physical activity on the young brain provides a focus and a readiness to learn.
Ready?
Ask your child how Move, Move, Move helped them learn today.
Run! Excellent, boys and girls.